Hi, welcome to this episode 2 of the Laravel from A to Z. On this episode, we are going to talk about routing. So, what is actually routing in a nutshell? So, all the websites in the world, they have maybe only one thing in common that I'm going to show, and that we all know. It's the address. So, in this case, for instance, if I want to access the Laravel documentation, I go to laravel/doc/ for instance 5.6, and I access the documentation of the Laravel websites for this version 5.6. So routing is all about translating these URLs that you can see here on your website for a piece of code that will have to run on your Laravel project. So for instance, if I go here and I can say, okay, if I do have this docs/5.6, I want to render this page that you can see here. So this is what we are going to do on this session, and we are going to see several different cases that you can use on your web project. So let's open our demo project that we just created on the previous lesson. And here, where are actually these routes located? It is, of course, in this folder that says routes. So if you open it, you see that there is 4 files inside, but the one that we mostly use is this web.php. This is the routes configuration for all the routes that are called on your web browser directly, like something that you write here on the top, a button that you click on a form, or any type of action that uses the end user to interact with your website. So if we open this web.php file, we see that there is already a route defined here by default on Laravel. This route that appears is actually the route that redirects you to the welcome page. It says view welcome. So let's start our web server very quickly. So as you know, you write php artisan serve, and let's see what this means if I go here to my localhost. So as you can see, it appears a page that says Laravel documentation, Laracast news, some links here. And actually this page is no more than just this view that is returned on this route configuration. So it means that it says route, and then it says the verb get. So the get is actually when you click and enter here, it executes a verb get. And then it executes a function closure here and returns a response that is actually HTML processed by this view helper function that is here. So for the sake of this example, let me just show you something. Let me just write hello world for you to see what happens. I'm just going to do an F5 now, and as you can see, it says hello world. So it's just a response that you have here and nothing else. And it's as simple as this at the beginning. So let's put back again the example here, the view, and let's create our first route. So I'm just going to copy paste this text, and I'm going to say, okay, so if I'm on my website and I want to write contacts, it says, sorry, the page you are looking for could not be found. So actually there is no route for this contacts address on my website. So let's create it here on this page, on this PHP page here. I'm just going to put here contacts, as you can see, and then I will just put the closure here, say return, this is the web page contacts. And I do an F5, and here we are. So Laravel now understands that for the HTTP request gets, again, just giving an enter here, it says it redirects to the code that says this is the web page contacts. So we are seeing an example here with this HTTP get, but of course Laravel allows you to use posts or delete or put or patch. I mean, all of them, they do work here depending on the action that you are actually executing on your website. For example, if you are actually using a form and your user submits a form and you want to capture that on your route, then you use a route post. So if I was, for instance, on that form, inside a form that's on the contacts page, and I submit a post, then it will be captured here on the route post and not on the route contacts, on the route get, sorry. So let me just give an example here. I'm just going to put route get and say this is the web page contacts, and then a route post that says this was a post, and go back here. And if I do an F5, it still stays on the web page context and actually didn't go to this was a post, because I didn't make a post on that page, I made a get. So that's why it went here and not here. Now, on certain situations, you might want to join these two verbs in the same route. So all you have to do is actually to call the static method called match, and then you just need to pass the get, all the HTTP verbs that you want to consider, and you keep the rest as it is. So it means that if there is a get or a post, it will always show the same text. So if I do an F5, I'm still here. If I went to the post and not simulated on this case, it will also show the same information. Another example that I want to show to you is how can we actually shortcut gets routes on this case. And this was actually introduced on Laravel 5.4, if I'm not mistaken, or 5.3, but I think it was 5.4. You have actually a static method called view, and all you need to do is to pass the address for the route that you want and then the view that you want to consider. So let's see this example. I'm going just to comment this part here, and you will see that when I do route view and then the same as here, and I go back to my root, it still shows the same response, in this case the view welcome. So all you need to do is route view, pass the address, pass the view, and it responds like this. Another example that we need to see is, what about if we have parameters that we want to pass on your route, on your address here on the top? So let's just take out this one and let's create now a new route get again to our contacts, and then function, and I say return hi, and then I want to pass here like a name. Okay, so I want to write here, for instance, contacts and then Bruno, for example. And I want to show that Bruno here on my page. How can I pass here a parameter that then I can use on my response or anything, or anyone on any place of my code? So you just need to put it like in brackets, you write name, and then on the function argument, you give it the same argument name as it is here. So for instance, if I write ID here, I will call it ID here. Okay, so Laravel can connect both. And in here, all I need to say is hi, and then name. And let's see what happens now. So if I go here and I write contacts, and then I write Bruno, it says hi Bruno. If I write, I don't know, John, it says hi John. So as you can see, there is a parameter binding